Many people worry about having enough money to have a comfortable retirement. In fact, it's probably the greatest fear for soon-to-be retirees. Despite the complexities of managing your finances, many try to do it alone. And that's simply a rough way to go. Why not work with an advisor who can guide you to a worry-free retirement like Cory Sickles? He's the president of Safe Harbor Retirement Group and the sponsor of this segment. So good to see you, Cory.
Glad to be here, Robin.
All right, we always hear this word, and we've talked about it before, fiduciary. I don't think many people, though, really realize what it means. What does that title mean when somebody's given it?
Well, another popular term I think a lot of people hear too is transparency too. Yeah. Right? And when we start about fiduciary, really what you're talking about is working with an advisor that has your best interest instead of theirs. And what I mean by, theirs, putting you in products where maybe they make a higher commission. That's really what we're really talking about there. So it's very important to work with a fiduciary. We're fiduciaries at Safe Harbor. But, it's one of the things that if you do want to work with an advisor, it's a question that you really need to ask, because you really only want to work with an advisor that does have a fiduciary for you, because they're always going to do everything in their in the best interest for you. Right,
exactly. And so then let's talk about the process, Cory. Somebody meets with you, they're wanting a financial plan. Where do you start?
First of all of our meetings are complimentary and there's no obligation. And I think a lot of people are afraid to go through this process too. They don't want, they're afraid to find out maybe what might happen.
And no one wants the bad news, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, but we try to make it very simple. We do have a process we go through, and just like anything else, I think it's important to work with an expert. Mm-hmm. But when you do come in, we're not going to put together like a cookie cutter type of solution for you. Everyone's solution's different. Everyone has different retirement savings. The amount of money that you've saved. They have different income needs. You might be single, married. So for us, we kind of go through a same process in order to meet with you and find out what your goals are. But at the end of the day, we customize a solution, strictly for you.
What about accountability with reaching those goals, those financial goals that you have?
Well, the nice part about it, I think, when you work with an advisor, we're going to hold you accountable for what you're supposed to do. If you say you're going to save an X amount of money, in your 401k, or maybe even with us, we're going to hold you accountable to that, because we have a plan that we're trying to put in place for you, and we're going to make sure that you're meeting those goals. And the one way to do that is by meeting at least with on an annual basis, where we can kind of say, okay, here's where you are. Am I still on the right track? Do we need to adjust or do anything like that as well?
All right, Cory, in most cases, advisors charge a fee for managing, your portfolio, your investments. So how does that impact a return on an investment?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think a lot of people are worried about trying to pay a fee. And the one thing I would probably say there is, one, you're paying us for the expertise. One of the things that we do at Safe Harbor Wealth Advisors is we manage your portfolio. So we have people that are looking at your portfolio on a daily basis, right? So you're getting that professional management. And another important thing where I think we really make the money is we don't try to time the market, right? You'd be surprised on how many people, especially this year, that I've received phone calls where they want to kind of get out of the market. Yeah. If you've already taken that loss, it's going to be a permanent loss. So, by us being able to work with you to make sure we're allocating you the correct way. And, there's other reports you can go out and read on, advisors, usually you make it, supposedly 2 to 3% more. You can go out and, research that yourself. But at the end of the day, we're here to help guide you. And you're paying us for that expertise. And that's really what we're trying to do for you.
And if you want to find out if it is something that you want to venture into, you do start with a complimentary consultation, yes. Right? You meet and you kind of talk about all these things.
That's exactly right. So yeah, all of our meetings are complimentary. There's no obligation. The first meeting's simple. We're trying to figure out what your goals are. And then we're going to come back and present to you a financial plan. And the other part of that we try to do with that second meeting is now we get into the education part too. We want you to be familiar with the products and the different types of investments that we're recommending for you too. So you can actually know what you're doing or know what you're getting into as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to trust, to that meeting is a lot about, hey, do we trust each other? Is this a partnership? Because it's going to last a long time, hopefully. So it is safeharboroh.com. Cory, thank you.
Thank you, Robin.